Today represents the 11th of March and time is really flying. Everything is happening at such a fast pace now that you have not time, people. We have no time to catch our breath. We have no time to get a good night's sleep because everything is moving so fast and there's so many things happening across the world that's going to keep us on the edge of our seat and keep us on the edge of nervousness, stress, and all sort of stuff. I say that because the whole geopolitical landscape of the world is changing. And it is changing at such a fast pace that we in the Caribbean may just wake up one day to find that we have a different master. We're under different governance, we're under different rule. And the kind of rule and a different master who dictates we cannot refuse. We have to do exactly as they say or as that person says. I want to use the opportunity to explain something that I read in the Trinidadian Express, their newspaper publication dated today's date, the 11th of March. And it addresses an issue that took place out in on the 7th, Saturday, just 2 days ago. No, when the Thursday morning, 4 or 5 days ago. The 11th, the 7th, 4 days ago. This took place at a summit on the Doral property owned by the President of the United States, Donald Trump, in Miami. And this summit is about the shield of the America. It addresses the shield of the Americas initiative. And what this initiative is about is to get CARICOM member countries to collaborate with the U.S. in the fight against transshipments, transnational criminal drug network with a special focus, criminal and drug network with a special focus on drugs cartel. And admitted by the Prime Minister of Trinidad is having a cartel program. Now, this initiative is a plan that is viewed in part as a personal Trump plan, which raises serious concerns in Trinidad about foreign policy, alignment, and sovereignty. This according to analysts, senior analysts in Trinidad. Dr. Gonzalez made some comments in the paper, and I commend you on what you said, Dr. Gonzalez. Reasonable points you raised, especially as it relates to the policy alignment, foreign policy alignment, and sovereignty. What was frightening, though, ladies and gentlemen, about that summit that took place on the 7th, where Donald Trump signed the proclamation, along with attending CARICOM member countries who agreed to collaborate more closely with the U.S. by coordinating military and law enforcement operation in an effort to combat, as I said, transnational criminals, drug crimes, and drug cartels. But what was frightening coming out of that publication, and I asked myself, and I want to, if Caribbean people are hearing this in Trinidad or wherever you are in CARICOM, what on earth convinced the attending leaders of the respective Caribbean countries that were in attendance at that summit to sign on to that proclamation without the details of that operation? When that was over and you all go back to your respective countries or island, what did you tell your people about that summit? because the details of the summit is not clear. Enough wasn't said. Because when I read it, all I got from that was a concept, a partial idea. Nothing in detail, but yet people signed on. And worse, they're inviting, sending information out, are expressing to other CARICOM member countries who were not in attendance to not be afraid to sign on to it. You sign on to it without the details of the operation. And you're inviting other CARICOM members to sign on without the details of the operation. What was promised to everyone who attended that summit? What was the promise given? And what concession you guys had to give up or received from the administration of the present US government? What? Because as leaders of a country, I don't see how I could sign on to something without having the full details. Because I cannot make an informed decision about something without a detailed explanation as to what I'm getting into. Because as I said in the publication in the Trinidadian Express, there's concern about foreign policy alignment and sovereignty. What are you giving up? What are you giving up? Let the people of the Caribbean know, respective CARICOM members. Ladies and gentlemen, having read that, immediately my mind turned to the situation in Jamaica, with my own Prime Minister here, Dr. Andrew Holness, decided suddenly to kick out the Cuban medical delegation that has been assisting our health service sector for pretty much 50 years and has done a wonderful job and wonderful service for Jamaicans all over. There's not a government that has complained about them. Initially, when they came, there was some problem with the JLP and the PMP. They came under Michael Manley, and I know Michael Manley must be turning into his grave, Andrew Holness, for this decision. And before I finish, sir, this decision is going to hurt you at the poll. Jamaicans will never forget. It's going to hurt you at the poll. Now, weeks before, I remember sometime you're the one who made the comment that you stand with the Cuban people. You stand and support the Cuban people. So I was taken aback when, without any hesitation, you decided to make the decision about the Cuban medical delegation that you made. As a result of which, sir, I looked at the Cuba newspaper, and in the newspaper dated March the 6th was an headline: Cuba regrets the decision of the Jamaican government to cease medical cooperation, yielding to pressure from the US. Let me repeat that. Cuba, this is the 6th Friday, last Friday, printed in their main newspaper, the Grandma. Cuba regrets the decision of the Jamaican government to cease medical cooperation, yielding to pressure from the US. Now, Jamaica, let me bring you up to speed with some information about that, because these people have been helping us, our medical and construction era, for a number of years. And as already articulated by other commentators, they have built schools and have done well in the medical service for us, our health service. Have done exceptionally well. I think they built about 4 schools. I know GC Foster, I know about Osemate, I know about Anchovy, and I know they built 4 schools. I don't remember the name of the other one. But let me just give a synopsis of their performance in Jamaica. They have treated more than 8,176,000 patients in Jamaica over the time that they have been helping us. They have treated more than 8,176,000 patients. Now, we don't have that population in Jamaica, but what it means, notice the word patients and not person. So if I go to the doctor twice, I'm a 2-time patient. If I go there 3 times, I'm a 3-time patient. So they count it by patient. That's how you measure your service, not by persons. If you treat me 1 time, if you have to treat me 10 times and only account for 1 time because I'm 1 person, then you're going to be off record. It is also said that 74,302 surgical procedures were performed by these medical people from Cuba. 74,302. Further to that, 7,170 births were attended to by these medical personnel. More than 90,000 lives were saved. More than 90,000 lives were saved because of them. 25,000 Jamaicans' eyesight were improved or restored. 25,000 Jamaican eyesight were restored or improved. These are people who were there with us through COVID. Now let me fast forward to Melissa just a couple of months ago. These are the very same people who continue working for more than 72 hours, actively assisting with the task of recovery in the hospital and in the surrounding communities. In the last 30 years, ladies and gentlemen, over 4,700 Cuban medical personnel has provided medical assistance to Jamaica. Nearly 5,000. Now, Mr. Andrew Holness, you gave the nation no explanation as to why, no detailed explanation, I should say, as to why this decision was arrived at. Senator Donna Mottley has rightly so called upon you to explain to the Jamaican people what led to this decision, why the sudden and abrupt removal. I don't know if you have responded to her. I don't know if you have responded to Jamaican people. I don't know if you have said anything or done anything about it, sir. But what I'd like to remind you of, it is not the American government that elected you and put you back in power, your party back in power, the Prime Minister and leading and the government of Jamaica. It's not the American people. It's not the American cabinet under this Prime President or any president whatsoever elected you and your party back to power in Jamaica. And maybe they helped to finance you, but I know they were not the ones who voted for you. It is the people of Jamaica who voted for you, sir. And as the Cuban publication said, Jamaica yielded to pressure from the U.S. Let us say you did not yield to any pressure, or you were not pressured by the U.S. Why the sudden uprooting of the Cuban medical delegation to Jamaica? When you know very well, sir, you and your Minister of Health, Dr. Tufton, knows very well, so too your Finance Minister, that the health service in Jamaica is on crutches. Right now, it is on crutches. So let me say this, sir. If we remove all of these statistics that I gave, if we removed all of that, send that back to Cuba, the Cuba delegation, where's the replacement, sir? I understand that Jamaicans are storming the hospital, St. Joseph's Hospital, because people are rushing to get whatever service they can get from the Cuban delegation before they leave, because they were comfortable in the thought that these Cuban doctors and medical personnel would be here indefinitely. I would be here for a long time. So now St. Joseph Hospital is overwhelmed with patients seeking service. Now, Mr. Prime Minister, I know this is going to come. It's going to hit you at the polls. It's going to hit you at the polls. And ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the things I keep talking about loudly and clearly. I keep talking about this whole systemic political deception that we are under as a people. And politicians is not going to make any effort to change that. It is up to us, the people, to rise up and raise our voices in real concerns. That we need to see some transparency, as the Prime Minister himself talked about during his campaign. They are a government of transparency. They are a government of honesty. They are a government of truthfulness. They are a government of respect. They are a government that most of all that hear the cry of the people and listen to the cry of the people. But so far, Mr. Andrew Holness, you have displayed that you're a government who cares not one hell about the people. You care nothing about transparency. I don't know if the ears you have is not to hear the cry of the people. Because apparently you're not considering the people in this condition, in this situation, I should say. Remember this, Mr. Prime Minister. I heard the very President of America said, Cuba is next. And I'm wondering if you knew that Cuba would be next. And I wonder if you were at the Doral meeting on Saturday, 7th of March, if you had a representation there, any delegation from Jamaica was there, representing Jamaica as a member of the Caribbean, as the CARICOM community. And if we signed on onto that proclamation to assist the U.S. in the fight against transnational criminals, drug trafficking, and drug cartels. Tell the nation if you were there, so if any Jamaican representative was there. And what was the detail? What came out of that meeting? Did we sign on to it? We need to hear from you, Mr. Prime Minister, and I'm telling you, sir, you have proven time and time again, as I've said before, none of these politicians care one hoot about us, the common people. What they care about is power, remaining in power, and give you the illusion and leave with the common man the illusion that everything is well when nothing is going well. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to say, wherever you are, if you see this video, please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel. I want this channel to begin. We need to grow it. I'm intended to have it to grow this channel, but I can't grow it without your help. Share it. Any other platform you want to share it on. Wherever you go for podcast, share it. Tell somebody look it up, listen to it, jump in the comment column, leave your comment. Let me know whether or not I'm really watching what they're doing by listening to watch what they say and what they do. Let me know whether or not I'm trying to create a better understanding for us all. Let me know if what I'm saying makes sense. Because if Trump can say Cuba is next, it means one thing. CARICOM is already under his control, or he's going to use Cuba as an example for the entire CARICOM nation. Ladies and gentlemen, Lenny Robbins YouTube channel, like I said, know your politics. Let's come together to create a better understanding. Reach out and subscribe to this channel for me. I'm begging you, I'm pleading to you guys, because we need to grow it as fast as possible. Because the world is changing and nothing is waiting on us. Leave your comment. Like, share. Whether you comment, whether you want to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And always click that notification bell. Never leave it out. Welcome once again. Blessed love, Jamaica. Peace and love. Over and out.